Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video, let's take a look at our semiconductors, that is starting off with Nvidia, then AMD, SMCI, ARM, Broadcom, and Micron. We also had Broadcom's earnings here, guys, today. Like numbers, like expectations, looks like they beat on it. I'm not going to go too much in detail on the Broadcom's earnings, but we'll talk about Broadcom as usual in the sequence of the stocks here. But as you can see, we are at $142 in the post-market selling off. As I'll get to the Broadcom to talk about it, I'll talk about the price action at that moment, but just so you know, this is what it is. It hasn't really quite affected other semiconductors that much, right? Like for example, Nvidia doing fine. So we also have a news coming, and as you know, it doesn't really matter to me what type of news is coming out unless it's earnings or something, but because we trade with the technicals are all what we need to trade to make the money. Now, but still, I'll talk about this little bit of the news that we have. That is Nvidia, Microsoft accused in new lawsuit of infringing on Texas startups' DPU patents. So there's a company by the name Zockets. So the lawsuit filed Thursday in U.S. District Court in Waco, Texas, but privately held Zockets accuses Nvidia of infringing on 7 of its patents and seeks unspecified damages in addition to blocking future DPU sales that rely on Zockets technology. So, this is actually, the complaint alleges that Nvidia and Microsoft created a buyer's cartel with a third-party intellectual property brokerage to avoid negotiating directly with Zockets and continue using its technology at a steep discount to its actual market value. So, buyer's cartel, well, sure, we'll see. But the more, again, this is high-level language here. We don't know what depth and details in the background things are going. But as I said, just in, something I wanted to talk about, a new, stuff has come up, which always keeps coming up in the Game of Thrones, right? But anyways, it doesn't matter, right? We have technicals in our hand. We trade with the technicals. We make all our money using the technicals. All these news doesn't matter to me. The only thing I care about is earnings and what happens before and after. Well, the chart changes, right? That's why earnings are important, because it can change the chart, and which can bring new technicals. So that's all what I really look for. So technical trading, right, is what we'll be focusing on, like always. So all right, with that, please hit the like, subscribe, and also please note, none of this is any financial advice and it's only for education purposes. Not sure I told you that already, but here you go. All right, so, okay, so Nvidia today still technically is in the bearish structure, right? We are still red down here. And we are rebounding, but not rebounding enough, which shouldn't be a surprise to us, right? I mean, this is something I have been already talking about. Once we lose $118 due to the amount of short sellers piled up there, and once we broke the structure at 122, things will look more to the downside. We have been getting with that. Now, what to look for tomorrow? Is this a place where Nvidia is good to now rebound? Is this the thing? What to look for tomorrow, right? Are we going up again? Like, is this the bottom? Not quite so. So taking a look at hourly interval, we are still in the downtrend, guys. Am I seeing any higher low? Sorry, yeah, am I seeing any higher high? No. Am I seeing any higher low? No. What I'm seeing, still downtrend and just some consolidation right now. So if this consolidation intraday, if you want to trade another upside on it, like for example, these rebounds have been coming for the days, that's fine. Again, if you have access to my tools, you already know how to trade with those. If you need access to my tools, links on the description below. But there was a little bit of an upside rebound that came with this green candle, and this until this point when the structure changed again to red, and then we just came back into the cloud and pretty much just stayed there. So all in all, just a consolidation day, a little bit of a rebound, nothing more than that. But technically things are still on Nvidia not bullish. Okay, the rebound is also being sold off, so which is the definition of downtrend, right? For upside play, good rebound, let's say 109 and 55 cents above. I talked about this level yesterday as well, that today, as if we can stay above 106 and 29 cents, we can come to 109 and 43 cents area or 31 cents area. I'm not going to penny to penny perfect here, but This was the zone. We got that play. That was it. Next big play is above 109 and 55 cents into the rebound. Please note that will still just be a rebound. That may open up the door to 115, but for that we have to first get above 109 and 109 and 51 cents or 31 cents. Where again, penny to penny not going to be perfect, guys. I am just if you have access to my tools, these levels are already marked for you. Just go with those. Now, and if we can get above 50 hours moving average tomorrow with 20 hours moving average and make our way above 109, as I said, and 30 cents area, then upside is possible. Otherwise, this is still looking weak. If we lose 106 and 27 cent zone, you're watching again downside. You know, the thing is that this level held twice around 104. But the problem with this zone that I'm seeing, let me actually check something real quick here on my indicator, guys. Yeah, I want to do it high. Yeah, here we go. Because I was like, yeah, there's one level that, yeah, I just had to do a high setting there. So this zone particularly, if in pre-market we get weaker down here to 105 or 104, we have high likelihood of flushing. So just keep an eye on this area, 104 zone, all right? If we lose this, yeah, definitely we are continuing lower. If we come down here and find support, well, this zone can still act as a support, but as I said, that will just be an intraday, a little bit of a rebound like today, like yesterday. The big good move is above 109 and 30 cents area or 40 cents area, right? That's the zone. And then it can open up the doors to $115, but that will just be a rebound in the overall structure. Otherwise, yeah, as if we lose the levels to the downside, as I talked about, technically being in the downtrend, well, that's the direction that we are heading, right? So that's that. So those are the levels to watch for tomorrow. That's the price action to watch. As for right now, what the price action is showing me is we are weaker, right? Again, it all comes down to, can we break the levels to the upside? That's what it all comes down to. If you need an early sign as a little bit, there's one more level actually on 5 minutes that you can watch if you're looking for an early sign, and that would be this zone, this level, 107 and 66 cents. If somehow in the pre-market, Nvidia can establish itself above 107 and 66 cents, that could be a start of a bull run, well, reboundish bullish run for the day only, right? So that's another thing you can be also watching on Nvidia. And if I turn on my, again, guys, I'm telling you, just trade it only as a rebound if those upside level happens, nothing more than that. Don't swing long it right now because structure is not confirming. If it does, we'll need to see a strong close, and you can carry day after day, a little bit of partial positions. That's the way to roll over your intraday into swing, but I really tend to avoid those things though. We are still below the cloud as well on the, longer, intraday horizon, so it will have some, steep climb to do to fully get out of it. But intraday, you can still trade it, right? It's like overall swing, yeah, first at least there are a lot of things we have to see before we even get to the swing long, right? Not just on the hourly interval, but on the daily interval, we also need to see some structure turn into green. Right now, as I showed you, structure is still bearish, right? The orange and red is the bearish definition. Again, if you need to know what these things are, like how to read these tools, I have training videos as well. If you want, you can have access to my tools in the description of this video. Okay, now before going to AMD, I also want to point you to my Junior Trader Dividend Investing channel. Link to this channel is in the description of this video. There will be a video coming out today talking about, because I sold some Tesla from my dividend ETF and I did buy a couple of other things. So I'll talk about all of that. Subscribe here as well if you want to be notified when that video is out. Link to this channel is also in the description of this video. All right, let's go to AMD. AMD, as we have talked about from last couple of days, yes, sure, some rebound came, but the structure hasn't really turned bullish. It is still bearish. And right now, I'm not seeing signs of bullishness. And even on the hourly interval, you can see it's still constantly forming lower highs. So yeah, right now things are not looking good. Again, these trend lines will not be penny to penny perfect, but just for reference, you can use the directional trend line as well, right? We are just going still down. Tomorrow, what are the levels to watch? Well, it's only upside possibility. Well, if it starts to get above 140, then I would also want to see it get above 141 as well. If it can do that, that's great. Again, lower time frame, my tools will also help you in in making those plays. But and if we can't get above 20 and 50 and we just reject at 141, it's just going to stay sideways or going to go lower. But good upside play would only, at least just intraday though. Remember, overall structure is bearish, so upside will only be just rebound upside. That will be above 108 and 41 and 16 cents, that area. And according to these levels, you will have a stop loss on the other side. SMCI. So SMCI, no surprise, structure is still bearish on this thing. It's not looking good. I'm not seeing right now strength in the price action as long as we are below 408 and 78 and 90 cents just in the bearish structure. And as if we lose 396, then we are coming down to 327. So right now it's still weakened quite, and yeah. There's one thing that may possibly happen now, since because it has slowed down a little bit. Anytime if it can get above 20 and 50 on the hourly interval, upside can, intraday at least, can come, but intraday rebound only. This thing has a lot of stuff going against it, but this will be the zone. What usually happens sometimes when things retest the same rebound zone, and if we see a wick down here, good buying happening, and we get above 408 and 19 and 60 cents, a strong move can also happen. But you have to wait for those confirmation, like strong wicks forming, good green volume candle come, breaking above these levels with at least 20 hours moving average, and then. But otherwise, no, this thing, if it stays below all this stuff like 408 and 19 and 20 hours moving average and all of that, is just a downside continuation. ARM. So ARM, a little bit, again, as I talked about, see if it finds some support at this trend line. It's doing that, but this is just a rebound, guys. It's not a bullish structure. It's still just a rebound in the downward structure. So let's go to the hourly interval, right? So that very trend line with the double bottom support, gave some bullish play today, right? This is what you are watching in the price action, but is it a bullish structure? No, not really. We still sold off at the end of the day. If it can hold above 20 hours moving average tomorrow and can get above 50 as well, or 123 and 68 cents. If tomorrow it can get above it, it can continue higher. Otherwise, if we anytime lose 121 and 40 cents, then that's a problem, because then this pivot is not forming and we are losing significant level and just continuing lower, right? So that's that. Broadcom. So Broadcom had its earnings today, right? And in the post, so that's the thing. The structure on this was already bearish from last couple of days. Now, post earnings, right, things have really broken down on this thing. Like, I'm not going to go through the earnings. You can see it's the green stuff there. So it looks like they still beat on the expectations, but it doesn't matter. The chart is looking negative, and Broadcom is somewhere at 142 and 83 cents. So that's where, we are right now. It's a broken structure. Any rebound until 108 and 50 is not a bullish play. It's just a bearish play. It's just the downtrend. Until 150, things will still remain in the downtrend. But as I showed you on the daily interval, structure on this was already bearish. It's just that we are seeing more sell-off here. So 142, this is where it is right now, down here. So one thing can happen here. Let's see if it tomorrow continues to fall. Let's see if 200 days moving average gives it a support, or it comes down all the way until there. But yeah, usually we have a follow through the day after. So let's see if Broadcom continues to sell off as well tomorrow. Most likely rebounds are just a short play, but again, I like to see another day as well after the earnings, right? So Micron. So Micron, guys, is still in the bearish structure. This rebound is nothing on this. If it can get above $90, it can try to go its way up to 93, but only intraday. Otherwise, yeah, as if we continue to break the levels to the downside, it's just a bearish play. This is very weak. A little bit of rebound above $90 to maybe 93 if it does that. If it gets above 50 hours moving average and above $90, then something can happen. Otherwise, no. And if we continue to break levels to the downside, like 87, 85 cents, then we're just heading lower. So Things are not great on Micron. All right. Okie dokie, guys. Well, that's it for this video. And if you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. And if you need access to my tools, links are in the description below. All right. Bye.